Hotline Miami, the 2012 indie game all about one thing: absolute brutality. The game where you fight through waves of Russian mobsters in neon-soaked levels, with a cryptic story asking hard-hitting questions that make you think about the meaning of violence in video games. It's hard to deny its satisfying action, and when a relatively short game with fast action gains traction in the indie sphere, a speedrun community is sure to emerge from it. And with 652 runners and over 1,000 runs, Hotline Miami is quite the established speed game. And as any good speed game does, Hotline Miami has many unique strategies and glitches for runners to utilize. In this video, we'll be exploring 6 of Hotline Miami's levels and how runners take on each one to get the fastest times, including a level that speedrunners managed to beat in just 9 seconds. Before we get into these game-breaking speedruns, allow me to explain how this video will be formatted. We'll be focusing on how the Hotline Miami 80% world record tackles these levels, and to do so, I've recreated each level speedrun myself. Unfortunately, I may be a little slower than the world record on these, but it'll give you a good idea of how each level is done. I'll show you the speedrun itself, and then elaborate on the strategies with graphics. With that out of the way, let's get into our first level. Starting simple, Overdose is the third level of Hotline Miami, and it's the first level that uses the Tony mask. Tony is a very useful mask, as it allows you to eliminate enemies with just a punch. We begin the level by knocking out an enemy with a door and instantly killing him. We eliminate the second guy before he gets the chance to react and acquire his assault rifle. We shoot the wall to attract an enemy to us before eliminating them, and then we end the floor by eliminating the man in the bathroom and the remaining goon before heading upstairs. This floor is a little more involved. We first punch to kill this solitary enemy before going into the next room. We then strike this guy and briefly move into cover. Going straight for the shotgun mobster will get us killed, so we hide for just a moment. We strike him and get his shotgun, which we use to shoot through this wall. Before speedrunning this game, I had no idea you could shoot through these yellow walls, but you can. We then take these other two guys out before they can react, and our gunshots are used to alert this enemy who will come to investigate. We kill the mobster in the bathroom and acquire an assault rifle. The curious guard is now here, and we will eliminate him with the rifle. As we're heading back, we shoot at this wall, which will alert this guy who's 2 rooms away. This mobster won't move from his spot, but now we can shoot both of them through the wall. And with that, we've cleared the second floor without even going through half the rooms. Using gunshots to lure out enemies is a crucial tactic to Hotline Miami speedrunning, and we'll be using it in other levels as well. The 80% world record beats Overdose in 20 seconds, and the individual level world record in just 14 seconds, though it should be noted for this and all other levels that individual level speedruns can use any mask and usually have better RNG than the 80% can afford. Still, 14 seconds is an astonishing time. Next level. While Overdose was a fairly standard level, Clean Hit has a distinct design from others. On the first floor, the right side has one guy on the toilet with a variety of artillery. On the left side, however, is a wide open room full of mob bosses and guards, quite different from the covered jacket usually has. The standard way to do this is to cover shoot from behind the door, somewhat blindly, but speedrunners don't have time for that. First, we select the Graham mask, which gives us 15% speed. Rule of thumb, if it makes you faster, it's good for a speedrun. We enter the right side and get an assault rifle, using it to shoot the toilet mobster. We then shoot the adjacent wall to attract an enemy to our location. We grab an Uzi from the back and run to the left. We whack the enemy with a door and use him as a human shield. This is why we chose the Uzi, as only some guns allow for human shields. We then spray into the room with bullets, aiming to hit every enemy. There will be a straggler or two in there, so we'll finish them off with an assault rifle. We'll be needing that assault rifle for the next section anyways. second floor has an odd layout as well, with 2 enemies across a long hallway blocking the rest of the gang. The common way to get through these guys is to use the window on the side of the building to reach the back, but like before, speedrunners don't have time for that. Instead, we use a distraction bullet to get the mobsters to come closer to us. When the elevator doors widen, we spray into the hallway and make sure to strafe right. If we just blindly shoot and go straight, we're destined to get shot. Now the guards are taken down, but we're out of bullets. We take one of their guns and storm into the next room. We use the rifle to take out the enemies in one swift motion, and the noise will attract the guard outside. We eliminate the mob boss on the toilet and grab a shotgun to finish off the last of them. The 80% world record clears clean hit in just 21 seconds, and the fastest ever run is 17 seconds. You can of course save some time by storming into the guard-infested room on the left at the start, but as you can guess, this isn't a very viable strategy for any percent. Next level. And here it is, the coveted 9-second level. If you're like me when I first saw this, you're wondering right now, what the hell was that? What you just saw is called Decadent Skip, and as the name suggests, it can skip entire levels. Let's break it down. We select the default mask and swing the door ajar without entering the building. We do that so that this enemy will hear our distraction. We go up the walls to get to the left of this window and wait. When this mobster gets close enough, we execute him through the wall. We do this to take his gun and immediately start shooting the building. This attracts a mobster to us who will start running to our location. We go down to the car, circle him around, and whack him in the face. We execute him, phasing us inside the car and triggering the end of the level. And that is how you can beat a Hotline Miami level in just 9 seconds. And since you have to wait for this mobster to be able to get his gun, you're not going to be much faster than that. Now, as you can infer, speedrunners don't do this for every level, whether because it's infeasible, inefficient, or just really difficult. Out of the 20 80% levels, 6 of them can be entirely skipped, and some of them in quite unique ways. More on that later. If you're enjoying the video so far, I would really appreciate a like. It helps promote my video and allows me to make more niche speedrunning content. Let's move on to the next level. Alright, I don't feel like I need to elaborate on this one too much. We choose the Tony mask again for the instant KO hits, and orient ourselves in a variety of ways to get enemies to come to us from safe locations. Fairly straightforward. This is how the 80% does it, and while you could use riskier strategies for a faster time, saving 5 seconds just isn't worth it when you're this far into a run. Now this is an interesting strategy. We use the gun from the first floor to kill off this shotgun mobster. This of course alerts several guards and they start running to us. We take care of the other goons and shoot the guys at the end of the hall. Then we do something kind of funny. We just stand in this doorway and strike every single enemy that walks through. The beauty of this strategy is that the gunfire makes all the enemies funnel into the same doorway, allowing us to safely exterminate them. Once that's done, it's just a matter of dodging the SWAT laser and slapping a guard on our way out. Iconic. The 80% finishes this level in 27 seconds, and the individual level record beats it in a blistering 18 seconds, making this one of the biggest differences between the 80% and the IL speedruns. On to the next level. As you can see, this is a variant of Decadent Skip, with a few more steps to reach the car. We choose the Graham mask for speed and walk into the building, getting the attention of this enemy. We lead him back to the entrance and take his weapon, then run to the bathroom and knock down his friend. We toss his gun and force him to take a melee weapon. This is so we can make him come to us without danger of getting shot. When he gets up, we lead him to the entrance and knock him out. A mechanic you may not know about in Hotline Miami is that you can intimidate enemies with a weapon. We use this to our advantage by intimidating him to the entrance door. We did all of this because you cannot go back outside until you finish the level, unless you use this glitch. We execute the goon, phasing us through the barrier, and toss the crowbar back to his friend. With that convoluted setup, we are now outside with an enemy running after us just like Decadent Skip. We shove him towards the car, execute him, and finish off this section of the level. If you remember, the second half of this level is a boss fight with Biker, and there's a really cool glitch here that I can't do. I'm sorry, I tried for over an hour, but I honestly could not achieve this trick myself. Instead, I will show you how the any % world record does it. The runner enters the elevator and makes his way towards the center room. As soon as the Biker fight starts, he grabs the golf club and dodges Biker. Biker will always strike at you with his cleaver twice before throwing it at Jacket. Speedrunners will try to get Biker as close to the wall as they can to minimize the time that his attack takes. He'll do this cycle one more time, but now the runner intentionally tries to get Biker to be behind the desk. This is to get Biker into a corner, crucial for this glitch. When the runner goes for the final swing, Biker's body is halfway through the wall, making Jacket halfway through the wall. The game forces Jacket out, and if the trick is successful, Jacket will find himself in the elevator, saving around 15 seconds. This glitch takes a lot of knowledge of Biker's AI, and a little bit of luck to succeed at it, but if you can get it, it's a big time saver. The any % clears this level in 1 minute and 8 seconds. Next up is the last level of this video. Once again, choosing the Tony mask, we ride the left of the wall to avoid these enemies, and strike out the two mobsters. We then take out these two and use a gun to take out the goon at the top. These gunshots will attract 2 more enemies to our location, and they will be in the ideal spot for us to kill all 3 of them simultaneously. We then just run and kill the remaining mobsters before moving on to the next floor. We immediately enter the room to knock out and execute this mobster, before eliminating the other 2. We then go on a tear, instant KOing several mobsters until we get to this room. In here, we eliminate the shotgun guy first, then get the other 2. Notice the subtle movement of getting between them to strike them both at the same time. We grab the shotgun and eliminate the 2 enemies in the sauna, before going back down and taking out the remaining guards as we back into the exit. The layout of this floor is infamous, with 4 glass-walled rooms. The only solace is found on the outer edges. You can attempt this room in several ways, from using the entrance room for cover, carefully edging along the sides, or just ramboing through the middle, and you probably know that speedrunners choose to rambo. We first shoot this enemy that, of course, attracts half a dozen guards and docks to us immediately. The strategy here is to take them out, either with your gun or fists, until you kill off most of them. You then use your gun to shoot into the bottom right square, which didn't hear any of those gunshots, and this will alert any remaining enemies to your location, finish them off, and the floor is complete. the last section of this level, and it's quite a doozy. We first strike this goon and a hound before making our way left. We quickly take out these two guards, narrowly avoiding gunfire and getting the attention of these enemies. We smack through this hallway, and at the end of it are the two alarmed guards who we take care of. We circle back around to get the two enemies isolated in this room, slap this guy, that guy, grab a shotgun, and blast the big boss. We send an extra blast to get the attention of these mobsters who come running to us. We strike them out, take out the last guy, and that concludes the level. The any percent world record beats this level in just 54 seconds, and the fastest ever run is 42 seconds. Those were 6 Hotline Miami levels that show off the amazing strategies and glitches of the any percent speedrun. Hotline Miami speedrunning is a test of skill and quick thinking. Every run is different due to the game's RNG and how much a runner is willing to risk to cut seconds off their time. My best time is hovering around the 27-minute range, which makes me all the more amazed that runners can beat this game in just over 14 minutes. Comment below which game you like better, Hotline Miami 1 or 2. That's always an interesting discussion, and I'll see you in the next speedrun.